Hi everybody and welcome back. I haven't filmed a makeup tutorial for ages, so I thought I'd do one based on Outlander because I've just finished watching season 2. If you don't know anything about Outlander, it's a book and TV show, and I'd say it's like a time travelling historical romance with a lot of adventure and drama thrown in as well. This is the look for Claire, and this is kind of towards the end of season 2 during 1968, so it's quite different to her earlier looks, but I'll try and film something for that as well if you'd like to see that. The eye makeup is quite different to what I'd normally wear, and I've never really tried anything like this before, so it's definitely fun to experiment, and I hope you like the video. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with the skin, and Claire has really quite flawless skin going on, so I'm going to go in with quite a high coverage foundation. This is the Vichy Dermablend, and I'm using it in the colour 15, which is Opal. So I've already put some moisturiser on just so that this glides over my skin slightly easier, because I can find that some high coverage foundations tend to kind of drag in areas of dry skin a little bit more on me. And I'm just going to go in with the Zoeva Silk Finish brush. I'm just going to start in the middle of my face, and I'm just dabbing it on to get the coverage. So it looks a bit scary to start off with, but we're going to blend it out. So of course just use whichever foundation you like. I'm going to go for a slightly higher coverage than I would day to day. So just keep kind of stippling onto the face. And I like to focus on the middle first, because this is kind of where you need the most coverage, and then you can blend it out towards the edges so that it's nice and seamless. So make sure you don't miss your neck either. You don't want to have a mismatched face and neck. And then I'm just going to swirl it in to make sure it's all blended, making sure you don't miss any bits, and make sure it's up into the hairline as well. Okay, so that's done a pretty good job of concealing everything, but I'm just going to go in with a concealer to areas that I need a little bit more coverage. This is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I think I've used this in every single makeup video I've ever done, so this is how good it is. So this is in Fair, which is the lightest shade they do, so I'm just going to pop a bit under my eyes to brighten up under there, and then just where I have a few blemishes to conceal those as well. I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. This is the concealer brush, just to blend that all in. You can also dab with your fingers as well to help blend. And then just to set everything in place, I'm going to be using a loose translucent powder. This is by Natural Collection. So I'm just going to pop a little bit into the lid, tap off the excess, and then just dust this over, because her looks really quite matte. There's not really any highlighting going on. It's not particularly glowy. It's fresh looking skin, but it's not super shiny. So we're just going to take away the shine, and then this will help the concealer and foundation to last as well. I'm just using a big fluffy powder brush for this. Okay, I'm just going to do a tiny bit of contouring to give my face a little bit more structure, and also because the foundation was quite high coverage, kind of flattens the face out a bit. So I'm going to be using the NARS One Shocking Moment palette, which is this, and I'm just going to be using the concealing shade. Oh look, you can see Claire in the reflection. That's the picture I'm using. So just going to be using this shade here to contour with the Zoeva Face Shape brush. If you don't have a contour powder, then just try and get a matte bronzer or anything like that, or even just a matte brown eyeshadow. I've used that before in the past, just to contour a little bit. So suck in the cheekbones, and then we're just going to very lightly work this into the hollow. So it's not really extreme contouring, it's just to give the face a little bit more shape. And then I like to work it up onto the temples as well a little bit. Then I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a petite crease brush with the same contour. And I'm just going to lightly do my nose as well. Just because Claire's is quite defined, so just on the outer edges, just pop a little bit there. And then kind of work it up towards the brow. Just to finish off the cheeks, we can do a tiny bit of blusher just to give a little bit of life into them. So this can take a blush brush, and again using the same palette, but I'm going to take the palest shade here, this light pink one. Now ideally you want a matte blusher. This has got a tiny bit of shimmer in, so I'm just going to take a little bit of it. And I'm going to go right on the apples of the cheeks here. You just want a slight flush, like you've been outside. Okay, so on to the eyes. I'm going to start with the brows. So Claire's are quite natural, not overly filled in, but they are quite undefined looking, and they are very neat. So I'm just going to brush mine into place, and then I'm going to use the other end, which has got a pencil on. This is a new CID or ID Cosmetics pencil. So I'm just going to very lightly just define them a bit more so they're a bit neater. And then I'm going to set them in place with the brow gel. This is one by Rimmel, it's just a clear gel. Okay, now onto the eyes. So I'm going to start by priming with Urban Decay's Primer Potion, just to help the eyeshadow last. So I'm just going to pop this all over my lid. Okay, now this eye look is quite tricky. It's taken me quite a while to do this eye, so I've never done anything like this before, so we're going to have a go. Basically, you really want some cool matte eyeshadows, so nothing too warm. That's what I kind of struggled with. A lot of my eyeshadows are quite shimmery, so I'm going to be using this MAC palette to start off with. I'm using this one up here, which is called Quarry. So it's like a cool kind of grey lilac colour. I'm just going to put this on my eyeshadow brush and then put it all the way across the lid. To the tricky bit, which is the crease. This look looks slightly different on me compared to Claire just because of our eye shape. I have quite hooded eyes, so you can't see much of my lid when I'm looking directly forward. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an angled liner brush like this, and this is a Soap and Glory palette, and this is just a mid-brown colour, again no shimmer in it, so I'm just going to pop that on my brush. And then what you want to do is you want to look directly ahead, and you want to just follow where your crease is but go slightly above with the brush. So I'm going to start at the inner corner and just kind of map out the shape. So I'm just going slightly above where my eyelid has a natural crease. So you can just see where I've been defining it. So I'm just going to go back in with the brown and work that up a bit more. And what you want to do is you want to go slightly thinner in the inner corner and then make it a bit thicker as you come out. Okay, once you're reasonably happy with the shape, you want to go with a slightly bigger brush. This is just a flat eyeshadow brush, and then you want a kind of dark grey to black eyeshadow, again preferably matte. I'm going to be using this one from the Naked palette, which is called Creep, which is this one here, and it does have a little bit of glitter in, but it's not too noticeable on the eye. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on the tip of the brush, knock off the excess, and then again I'm just going to follow where I did the brown, just kind of pressing this in. And this is just darkening up what we've already applied. Then I'm going to go back with the liner brush and again with the black shade we've been using, just to make it a bit more defined. So I'm just going to pop that all the way through. then I'm going to take the brush that we did the contouring of our nose with, so just this little crease brush, and I'm just going to blend this in a bit because we want it sharp but we want it to be blended as well. So just working that through the crease. Okay, then just to neaten things up a bit, I'm going to take a cotton bud and then just some cleanser. You can just use any kind of makeup remover. Just going to pop a little bit on there. And then I'm just going to go back to our line. I'm just going to go above just to neaten things up so it's a bit straighter. You can also go underneath as well, so just at the base of the line. And if you have gone underneath, just go back in with the shade used all over your lid if you've rubbed any of that away. Okay, and then I'm going to take a gel liner. This is a Maybelline one and it's in black, and then a clean angled brush. So I'm just going to pop some of this on here. And then you just want to follow just above your lash line. So I start in the middle. And we don't want too thick a line, so try and stay as close to the root of the lashes as possible to start off with. Just use lots of small strokes to get the shape, and then you can build it up. And then when you get to the outer edge, you just want to gently give it a little bit of a flick up, just to meet where the edge of the crease is that we did. They don't touch, there's still a bit of a gap, but just to finish off the edge of the eye. Okay, and then there's no eyeliner on the lower waterline, but what we're going to do is just go in with the brush that we had the black eyeshadow on, that we put through the crease, and then just if you pop it underneath the lower lashes for a really soft but defined look. And you kind of want to take this about 2/3 of the way across. Okay, and then just below the brows, quite highlighted, but again it's not shimmery really, so I'm just going to take some concealer, just the concealer I used all over my face, and I'm going to pop it through here. This will just brighten everything up and again make that crease look really nice and sharp and defined. And then go back with the concealer brush. And I also like to bring it through here as well, just to keep everything bright. I'm going to go back to my Soap and Glory palette with the lightest shade here, which is just, I think it's called Vanilla, yeah. So just a bright matte shade. And I'm just going to pop that through there. Finish these eyes off, I'm going to curl my lashes. These are Shiramura eyelash curlers. And then this is a Soap and Glory Thick and Fast mascara. This is my favourite one I use every day. So you want to mainly put this on the top lashes, so get it right to the root and then wiggle. And then just pop a little bit on the lower lashes to define them. Okay, and then ideally you want a kind of peachy pink lipstick, again quite matte with no shimmer, but I can't find anything in my collection that's kind of similar, so I'm just going to use Soap and Glory's The Missing Pink. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on to finish it off. Okay, so this is the finished look for Claire. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you have fun recreating this look as well. Let me know in the comments section below if you're a fan of Outlander 2, and I'll see you again with my next video. Thanks so much for watching, bye.